to our weekly Wow Call Q&A. This is your time to do questions and answers and ask us questions and we try to answer, or somebody on the call will try to answer. But right now it looks like it's just Kirsten and I here today. Hey, Kirsten, what's going on, girl?
Hey Tiff, it's the weekend before Thanksgiving, and I am up to my elbows in cranberry and stale bread.
Yeah, well, I've been really out of it, sick this weekend. I had a big migraine yesterday. Ended up sleeping most of the day. I woke up with it and called mom and went back to sleep, and then woke up and go, oh crap, I gotta order food because I had no groceries in the house. So then I slept today. So I'm just trying to sleep it off. But that's why you haven't heard from me in any of the groups, because I've just been like sleeping off whatever this is.
Sounds like you're taking care of yourself. That's a good thing. We like that.
Yeah, the dogs aren't so happy with it. They bounce on me every now and then because they want to go outside. But yeah, it's good. It's going good. Hey, we made it through our 15-day self-care challenge.
Let's give a round of applause.
Yay! Okay, the 15-day self-care challenge, we made it through that. And now we are going to talk about the self-care challenge itself and some of the questions or additional questions that have been presented coming out of that challenge. I hope if you haven't done the challenge, I would say it did great things for me and got me do things I haven't done, like cook, clean, little things that like that. And I thought about exercise, but I didn't do too well.
But I love that for you. I love that you're getting out of kind of your normal, what would have been normal before. You're trying new things and making an effort for yourself. And I love that for you. So I'm glad that that's been beneficial for you. I had a couple of other people reach out and say that they had done some things new. And I love that for them too. So I think it was a worthwhile thing for us to do over the last 15 days.
Well, what about you? Did you do something new?
Well, I didn't necessarily do something new. I started a little outside garden for like a cold winter plants.
Nice.
Plants. Yeah, so they're not flourishing. I haven't been as attentive to them as I should have been, but that, and then I started a compost pile for all of the stuff that normally you throw in the trash. I'm throwing it into a compost pile to make my own dirt.
Oh.
Yeah. So
you've always been really good at that kind of stuff. I happen to have a plant here that it actually is probably the only plant I'll ever have, unless I go buy a duplicate of it, that someone told me I could never kill. And I wanted a plant when my husband passed away because I needed life. I needed something that brought me life. And this plant is just it's just thriving. It's growing. What's it called? A no-kill plant?
Eternity plant.
Eternity plant.
Yeah.
And I'll have to take a picture and post it, but I have it on my dining room table in front of the window so I get to see it regularly. And it's just getting so tall. It's like, I don't know if you can see, but like this tall,
Yeah.
It's really tall. And it was just a little tiny baby when I bought it.
It was. So you not only have you not killed it, but it has thrived in your care.
Yeah. I haven't forgot to water it, but it's not one I have to water like consistently. I go, oh crap, I got a little extra water. Let me throw it in there.
Yeah, it works. That's the way it likes it. You probably need to bring it over so we can transplant it into a bigger pot.
It's definitely ready for sure. But
anyway,
yeah.
So all the ways that we have cared for ourselves have been good ways of caring for ourselves. And I think that it's a beautiful thing when we allow ourselves the luxury of doing new things.
Yes. I'm excited. I am excited for going into the new year. I actually, this is, just so you know, this is a hard time of the year for me. So
we're coming up on the anniversary of your husband's death, and the first year is always the hardest, and there's lots of good love and care wrapped around you, but it's going to be a little more challenging than maybe what it would be on a normal year, and that's okay. It's okay to have the feelings that you're having. That's all right.
Well, I didn't want to talk about it on this one but that's why this self-care thing was so important to me, is to have some things established as I go into December, so that I just am not sitting around doing nothing, because that's really where it becomes really easy to fall into my not taking care of myself. So
Yeah,
I did take a shower. I'm doing all the things, deodorant, brushing my teeth. I brushed my hair, even though I didn't feel good, and I showed up.
you did. You are.
Okay.
And not only are you showing up, but you're bringing good stuff to the table. So
And I showed up. And I think that that's all we ever ask of anybody, is just show up. And I'm glad for that commitment, because it would have been really easy for me today to go, I don't want to show up. And I'm like, no, I love what I'm doing. And I showed up. So
right.
I think that goes into, if you love what you're doing, then just keep doing it. They have no reason not to show up for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
And isn't that one of the guidelines or rules for authentic community, is just to show up?
yep.
Yeah, good. One of the questions we had for that I want to make sure we had for Q&A, and thank you for gathering these up. One of the questions we had is, what specific activities do you find most rejuvenating when it comes to investing in your well-being? I'm like, wow, that's a deep question. That's deep. I mean, I love things like massage, or I love to just sit and listen to megahertz music, and just sort of meditate on that. But like, when it comes to most rejuvenating, and I think it's stuff that maybe I've had to pay for in the past, or where I can have somebody else do it for me, like a massage. That rejuvenates me so much. And I think splurges are pretty rejuvenating. I find the basic self-care just gets me through the day. It's when I can go a little over the top that I'm like, wow, that feels great.
Well, I think if I could answer that question, for me, I have to get my hair done. Okay. Listen, I've tried the do it myself technique.
Does it work?
Yeah, that's not a very good technique for me. And so it is a splurge. It is a sacrifice. And, I have a really good hairdresser that we talked about it. And I have to go every 4 weeks to keep this color. So I know what I have to do. And we talked about what hasn't been cut since I got it this color a few months back. So I know I need to cut this time. So it's like, okay, this is how much it's going to cost. And then I can plan it. And guess what? The money is sitting in my savings account, because I'm going to go get my hair done on Wednesday. So it's there, it's planned. And I may be eating ramen noodles for a month, but I'm getting my hair. I'm just kidding. I'm not. But and I think
that's the sacrifice we have to make, is that we maybe cut back in other areas in order to have the areas that we prioritize.
correct. And then the other thing is I find myself not binge eating like I have found in the past, the binge eating where I could just eat all day long and not necessarily good stuff.
That I think that's hold on to that, because I think that answers another question a little bit later in the question.
Okay.
The other question that we had was, in what ways do you think love influences our ability to prioritize self-care in our lives? What do you think?
I believe that as I've learned to love myself, I can look at myself without disdain. Okay. And I can see myself the way God sees me. I think if I can look at it that way. I remember when I lost 130 pounds after my divorce from my first husband. And I went around telling everybody, I am this person. I am this person. I'm thin. I'm beautiful, long blonde hair, and I described it. And I did that in the mirror every day for like 90 days. And then I finally saw that transformation finally taking place. And I ended up losing 130 pounds. And you know what? I've had a hard time bringing that back. but I don't want to lose. I need to lose, and I am losing because I got into clothes that I haven't been able to get into, but I'm not forcing it upon me, but I'm doing it through loving myself, if that makes sense. Like loving my belly, loving myself the way I look, but also knowing what I want to look like. And if I love myself enough, I'll do that and I'll prioritize what I need to do to get where I want to be, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I think that when something comes from love, it provides the energy for a lasting change. I don't mean to imply that the other time that you lost weight didn't have love in it, so don't misunderstand me. But
oh no,
I think when we're forcing something on ourselves, it's hard to maintain it because it's coming from a forced energy and not from a loving energy. And once we start loving, love multiplies. Like love multiplies. So the more we do it, the better we get at it, the more we do it. And that's why I love when we can come from love, because it's love is sustainable. Love sustains. And all the rest of that effort isn't necessarily sustainable. It takes other energy. We have to find the energy to keep it going.
Yes, correct. Well, I like this next question that we have here. It's because meditation is a big part of my daily life. What specific meditation technique have you found to be the most effective for your personal self-care routine?
When I first kind of discovered meditation as a way of coping, like coping skills, I didn't realize how tightly wound I was and how difficult it was for me to just be okay in a moment. And the first kind of meditative practice I started was at the end of the day, I would lay in my bed before I went to sleep and do a body scan. And that body scan allowed my body to relax and help me get my body back into a relaxed body mode. And if you do the self-care course, you're going to hear why that's important. But getting back into yeah, exactly, self-care course. But being in a relaxed body is really important for all kinds of coping. And so that probably made the most difference in my self-care routine, was just realizing, I wasn't relaxed. And then the other thing is I was using the calm.com app, and I learned that really meditation is just learning to be okay in the moment and realizing that we are okay in the moment. And so once I kind of was able to allow myself just to be okay, that I can be okay in almost any moment. I mean, there's not too many moments that I don't have just an internal calmness about me, but that took a lot of practice. So I think those are the two things that are most have been the most effective in meditation for me.
Right. Okay. For me, I utilize meditation as well. I use the Calm app, and then I also use the YouTube channel. I like the Good Morning motivation affirmations that he does. And so I try to wake up with the affirmations in the morning. I don't do it every day. And then the Calm app, and then I do like a gratitude list. So, I mean, go ahead.
No, well, I think it's interesting that you're talking about three things that are related to each other, like cousins to each other, but they're not the same thing. So meditation really is about calming the mind and slowing it down and allowing your body and mind to connect. Affirmations are giving direction to your mind, which is different than meditation, but it can be meditative. So you're doing affirmations in a meditative way. And then the third one, I can't remember. Oh, gratitude. Gratitude can also be meditative, but it's a different type of activity. It's not necessarily, you can do gratitude without being meditative, and you can do affirmations without being meditative. But I love that you're doing it in a meditative way. I think that's the key, is you're using those other tools to be meditative.
And I use the app Gratitude. I don't know if you I've heard
Mhm.
of that. And it also has affirmations in there as well, and a daily Zen and a vision board.
Mhm.
So if you pay for it, and I don't pay for it, I like the affirmations that come with it, and
Yeah.
being able to journal my gratitudes.
Yeah, I think that that's an important thing, and we're going to get to that when we get to the end of this call, because gratitude is so important, and it's only right to talk about it during Thanksgiving week. So gratitude is definitely going to be where we go. But I want to do some education this week around why gratitude is so powerful, because it is incredibly powerful, and even if you don't meditate, gratitude can be very powerful in your life.
And if you aren't aware of the affirmations app that's out there as well, I have that on my phone, and it will talk it to you. They'll talk the affirmations to you throughout the day. You can set it and it will just, you have to obviously push for it to start talking, but it will give you like 5 minutes of affirmations or 1 minute of affirmations. And I used that in the very beginning when I was first learning affirmations. I used that, and now I can do affirmations pretty good on my own, but the Calm app also does it. And then I also found the one on YouTube. So there are free things, but the affirmations app is free too. You don't have to pay for it to get what you need. But sometimes I want it on my phone. So
If somebody is looking for the Calm app, I currently have a code that you can get 30 days for free. So reach out to me and I'll send you the link so you can do
well,
the
we'll just
30 days.
we can put it up in.
Yeah, it can't be posted anywhere. I have to send it directly.
Okay.
So just reach out, however, email or in the group or whatever, and I can send it to you individually to get 30. Normally, when I send it to you, it's 7 days free, but right now it's 30 days free. Are you yawning?
Yes, I told you. I'm just feel like it's sorry. Meditation.
You're all meditating. You're all relaxed body. Anyway, let's go to the next question. The question was, how do you incorporate meditation into your daily life, especially on busy days when time is limited? And I used to have, my days are so not busy now, and I find it's harder to do it now than it was when I was busy, because I'm like, I feel like I don't need it. I do need it, but I forget. And but when I was really busy, like I would sit in my car between appointments or before I would go in the house or whatever, and I would meditate before I would go in. And so that would be super helpful. But the way it is now, I try to pay attention to the signs that my body is feeling stressed, which I feel responsible for that. Not everybody can feel when your body is feeling stressed, but I feel like I've grown to the place where I can feel that. And then when my body is feeling stressed, I do I do a more meditative action. I may not do the same thing. But it's kind of strange when you don't have a lot to do, how much harder it is to be meditative unless you're doing it on purpose. So I think
Right.
meditation is on purpose no matter what.
Right. And the last question that we had here on this, and I think it's a great place to end our Q&A, and then we'll have a few minutes to discuss gratitude. Can you share any memorable experiences or insights you've gained from your meditation practice that stand out? I have had quite a lot of insight that has come from meditating, and a lot of growth. I don't think I would grow nearly as much had I not incorporated meditation into my everyday, because it quiets me enough to be able to hear my authentic self talking to me about me. Okay. And what I like to call the universe or source or God, however, when I can quiet myself long enough, my mind, I can hear, and it's not even a voice, it's just the knowing. And that's why, when I've learned that, it's become easier to make decisions. It's become easier to go, oh, okay, I'm really not headed in the direction I want to go. I probably need to be doing some other things. And I think when you get so busy and you're not meditating, that you can become distracted from the direction that you're supposed to be moving. And I think it becomes easy to get distracted from your faith journey, I guess is what I like to call it. That the thing that gives you joy, like this makes me happy. And if I'd been distracted today over my sickness, I would not have shown up. Okay, if that makes sense. I want to do the things that bring me joy, because that's where I come alive, and I find living to be wonderful and happy and joyous and free. And I like to laugh today, you know. I don't like being all serious and moody.
Serious and moody. That's kind of funny.
I mean, those are my experience from meditation. What about, do you have any you want to share?
I think just for me, the most powerful time in my life with meditation was learning how to breathe again. Again, plug for the self-care course, but we talk about why breathing is important in the self-care course. When I learned that I probably held my breath more than I shallow breathed or even breathed in a normal way. So it was meditative for me to learn how I was breathing. And then I would set a timer throughout the day to check my breathing. And I would say initially, every time that timer went off, I was holding my breath. I was like, wow, that was very enlightening.
Wow.
So that meditative experience taught me that I was holding my breath almost all the time. And again, all the self-care course teaches you why that's relevant. And so once I learned that I wasn't breathing and I need to learn how to relearn how to breathe, because our body knows how to breathe, but we need to relearn it. It's made all the difference in the world for me having access to my brain, and my ability to think has, doubled or tripled because I'm not holding my breath. So that was what was powerful for me.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, here you're talking about breathing. I took some deep breaths, and then there was that yawn.
It was
that resetting the vagus nerve, I think you chose.
That's right. When you yawn, you're resetting your vagus nerve. That's 100% true. And again, self-care course. And all about that if you haven't done the self-care course yet. So.
And we find the self-care course in our school community. And if you look at the screen, that will pop up and you can get the link to the school community, and it will also be in the comments. So moving on from self-care, we're going into gratitude.
Yeah, I love gratitude as a way of not just caring for myself, but setting my frequency, setting my energy to manifest the things that I have already put into the universe and want to get back for myself. I love gratitude for that. Gratitude has so many benefits, and I want to give credit to this guy on Instagram. His name is Lincoln Jesser, LincolnJesser. Lincoln Jesser does a lot of megahertz music. Like, he writes it himself. He's just, first of all, he's a hippie, so he is just so with it when it comes to that kind of stuff. But a couple of days ago, he put out a gratitude post that had so much great information on it that I wanted to read this for the group. This is how gratitude benefits the brain. Gratitude boosts serotonin and dopamine, the two chemicals that naturally enhance mood, motivation, and resilience. So gratitude is going to, bring us up naturally. The gratitude practice lowers our cortisol levels, the hormone that is linked to stress, causing a calmer body and mind. So up with serotonin and dopamine, down with cortisol. Studies reveal that gratitude helps calm racing thoughts, leading to a better sleep and enhanced mindfulness. And then repeated gratitude exercises strength, positive neural pathways, and it makes it easier to feel happy and resilient. So gratitude is so powerful, and it's not enough. I often, especially when I was doing therapy and teaching people how to be grateful and how to make that powerful, I said a lot of us feel like gratitude is writing grandma for that red wool sweater. Dear grandma, thank you for the sweater. I really think it's a nice color, right? Like that's not gratitude. It's not a thank you letter for something you didn't really want. it is appreciating what you have in a very thorough way. So we're going to talk about that in the group this next week. But a heart-centered gratitude changes everything.
Well, let me tell you that was probably, this week was a very hard week financially. And I think it was like every day I had to go, okay, I'm grateful that, I have a job. I'm grateful that I have money coming in. I'm grateful, I have food on the table. I may not have had the food I wanted, but I didn't go hungry. Okay. And neither did my animals. You know, I still have gas in my car because I didn't go anywhere this past week at all. So it's not like I have to fill up my tank this week, and this is a short week. So there's lots of things to be grateful for. And I think sometimes it's even just being grateful that, I woke up today and I showed up today. I'm grateful that I showed up. You know what? Because I already feel better. I already feel better because I showed up to this right here. And that's what it's about, is sometimes I can't talk myself to walk out the front door, but I can do a video call. How about that?
Yep, that's right. And it doesn't, we don't have to, it doesn't have to be something magnificent to be grateful for. Like, we could be grateful for the ability to get out of bed. We could be grateful for the food that we have. We could be grateful for the hot water in the shower. We could be grateful that yesterday was pain-free, even when today isn't, and we might be pain-free again tomorrow. Like, there's all kinds of ways to think about gratitude, that we don't give ourselves enough credit for the things that we can actually think about gratitude.
I have a question.
Sure.
Because at some level, we all deal with pain in some way, whether it's emotional pain or physical pain. Okay, we've all had something, or do have something that we go through. How do we learn to be grateful for our pain?
Yeah, I don't know that I don't know that we can.
Are we supposed to be grateful for our pain?
I don't know that we can always be grateful for our pain, but I do think that there are ways to think about pain that can lead to gratitude. And I don't want to minimize what anybody is feeling.
Absolutely not.
Because we're talking about a specific thing to a broad audience. So if I say something that is offensive or you disagree with it, I'm fine with that. But if this can apply to you, then please take it in and take it into your heart and allow it to give you comfort. But I think that, first of all, pain is a hint that we're alive. And if we're alive, then we still have purpose. And so I think that that's one of the things that when I think about pain, I think, okay, well, I'm still alive. And if I'm still alive, I still have purpose. So where do I go from here? Do I let the pain, do I think about the pain in such a way that it controls me, or do I allow the pain to propel me? Does that make sense? We're right at 4:30.
We're at 4:30. Listen, guys, come back, see us. If you're not on this call, that's okay. Share the video, subscribe and like our YouTube channel, share the video, invite people to our school community. We love you. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye,
See you
everybody.
on the other side.